BeastNet Podcast, sponsored in part by James Safety Services, OCR Buddy, and supported by the fitness community. Here we discuss all things fitness related, running, rucking, mental health and preparedness, and of course, obstacle course racing. Welcome to the BeastNet.
Yay, we're recording. All right. Hey, everybody, this is Lisa from BeastNet Podcast, and today we're talking with Dwayne, Legendborne Ambassador, and it looks like you are also new to More Heart Than Scars.
Yes. My friend Joey, who is also a Legendborne Ambassador, is very big into Hearts and Scars and pushing for that one. So I'm a type, I love dealing with any organization who wants to give back.
Yes.
You know, and I tell people all the time, OCR is, yes, it is an individual race, but there's so much camaraderie and there's so much into it, you know, and a lot of us were former military. So a lot of us tend to get in, you know, want to help and want to be involved. And that's a big deal for that. So, yeah.
What got you into Legendborne?
So actually, I won a contest. I was on the fence about getting a jersey because they are a little pricey.
Yes.
But then I won a contest, which I tend to be the Instagram contest winning fool, I guess. It shows I have no life. But I won a contest. I got one of the jerseys and I fell in love with it. Just the quality of the jersey and how well it's made, you know.
Yeah.
So after winning that one, I think since then I probably own about 25 jerseys. Did I lose you?
All right. So you were saying about Legendborne.
I think I own roughly about 25 jerseys now.
I was going to ask you how many you owned.
But it's anything from, I mean, I have anything, honestly, I have anything from the USA jerseys, which are beautiful. You know, plus different teams. I love, you know, OCR Addicts is one team that I love to run for. And it's just, you become friends like you, and you know, for example, you become friends with so many people from so many areas.
Yes.
You know, and I joke, I think I'm the only Beast OCR person down south, anything south of Seattle. But I met one of y'all, one of you guys in West Virginia, Candace is a Beast OCR.
Yeah.
And I met her in West Virginia. Poor thing, I bought her a pair of socks because it was freezing. She had no socks. I'm like, I'll go buy you a pair of socks. It's all good. Boo.
That's not the place to have no socks.
It was one of, like, the morning was freezing, but by, you know, 9 o'clock it was hot, and by midday we were swimming because it was hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just different. I love supporting different organizations. And so many give back so much to the community. If me just being on Instagram or whatever social media I have, wearing one of the jerseys, showing it, people asking, what is that? I've ran several races locally in New Orleans and stuff where I'll have a Legendborne jersey on and people are like, what's Legendborne, or what is this organization? Because there's so many different ones. So yeah, it's fun.
I only have one jersey and I love it. So I got to get another one for the podcast.
I'm guessing it's a Beast OCR jersey.
Yes, it was.
Yes, those are sick. Those are sick. They're sick. They are.
I'm gonna be getting a BeastNet one, and I'll go from there. What's your local OCR team down there?
The local OCR team is Battle 611. Is the team Battle 611. Plus, we also have Battle OCR, which is we're affiliated with OCR Worlds. So Sid actually built. So Valkyrie is our creation. We created Valkyrie.
Oh, okay.
He built that sucker in the woods behind his house. We were messing around, and you know the way it's built is basically it's built with scaffolding, and the scaffolding is exactly the length that to reach. So it got done.
Oh, perfect.
So we tried to do one with a Gibbons, and I think it may eventually come, but it's gonna take it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, he's created quite a few. Unfortunately, this hit, but he had created quite a few new obstacles for OCR Worlds, which is going to be in Maine. That a lot of us were going to go to. So yeah, it's Sydney Morris is the individual. It's Coach Sid. Everybody knows him.
That's awesome.
So,
How long have you been with them?
Pretty much my whole journey. So okay, I'll take you a quick journey. I started OCR. everyone says, how'd you get into it?
Yes.
I wish I could say, you know what? I wanted to be healthy and I wanted to be, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, that's bullshit. My sister challenged me. She said I'm too old to run a Warrior Dash. I was always a gym rat. I coached football for a long time. I was a strength and conditioning coach, but I was heavier than you would think because I was a big guy. I was muscles, but I didn't do cardio. Cardio is an evil word until you start doing it. So my sister's like, there's no way you can do it. She's like, I'm sorry, you're too old. And I was right. I just turned 40. You should know how that feels. Just turned 40 and she's like, yeah, you can't do it. So I did it and I beat her by 30 minutes. So, but who's keeping track? Who's keeping track? So, and I tell the story. So my brother, who is not athletic, I love my brother to death, but he's not, he's done a few races with us, but this is not his thing. Yeah. He enjoyed, he did Dallas Stadium with us, which he enjoyed. He wanted to do again, but we got him to run the Warrior Dash the next year. And he kept talking smack. I said, bro, you do realize I run competitive, but I'll be cool with you. No. I'm gonna run with you, and then when I get there, I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna push you in the mud, and I'm gonna win. Okay. So 45 minutes later, I'm still at the finish line waiting for him. The mud has dried on me. I jumped back in the mud when he got there, so I could be not dry mud anymore. But you go push me down, bro. It's all good. So we're a bit competitive, and you'll see if everyone checks my Instagram out, there's a lot of pics of my siblings, and we're very competitive in a good way. I mean, we support each other. I mean, my sister is probably one of my best cheerleaders. She supports me so much. She's the one that talked me into getting into this. And then, like she said, I started all this, but then you went nuts and started doing your own thing, and you got crazy with it. So
that seems to be the thing that happens with people when they get into OCRs. It's like, we'll see. And the next thing you know, that's the next race. So I'm also an ambassador for Spartan. I've done several events as far as promoting Spartan. And the story I tell people is, when it comes to Spartan or OCR in general, there's no in between. Either when's the next one I want to do it, or I ain't doing that shit ever again. Yes. I don't want another one. I saw a woman one time. She's there sporting. I'm in the gym. She's sporting a Spartan jersey, t-shirt, like the 2016 t-shirt. I'm like, oh, you did a Spartan? I'm never doing that shit again. Well, why are you wearing a shirt? Right.
I mean, if they're bring attention, you're gonna talk. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've run into a few people, like, they've been wearing shirts. I'm like, oh, what Spartan then you do? And they're like, oh, we just got this from somebody. I'm like, oh, why are you wearing it?
Or you get some of the idiots that want to buy the medals on eBay. Why would you buy your medal on eBay, bro? Why would you buy a medal on eBay? Right. I'm sorry, but why?
Right.
What's the point?
What do you do with all your medals? Because you race a lot.
So I have a wall of shame, I call it. Because I think last year we went to Dallas, the whole family, the siblings and everything. We ran Dallas, and that was my 100th race in 3 years. So it was cool to have them all together with it and whatnot. And so that was it. But so some of my medals, the story is my oldest son wanted to run OCR. He has Crohn's and colitis, and his body it won't allow it. He's tried. He volunteers a lot. So a lot of times what I do after a race is he gets the medal.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he gets the medal, he gets a t-shirt, whatever he chooses. And I promise you, he sports that. Like he tells everybody, I'm a Spartan. And I'd say, yes, you are. Because usually he's with me. Usually I have something with me, or me and him are talking, and I'll FaceTime him if I bring a phone. If I'm running competitive, there's no damn phone on me. But if I'm running for fun, because a lot of times people don't realize you can run you run more than once. A lot of times I'll run, especially, I'm not running a beast twice. I'm sorry, that's just an ultra. That's stupid. But I've done several supers, and I've done several. I mean, I do sprints all the time, or we do stadiums, and we'll run it more than once. Because the second lap's for fun. That's when you get all your pics, and you gotta Facebook and Instagram it and stuff. So yeah.
Unless you're part of my team and we just take the pics the first time around.
Well, I didn't want to get competitive. I won't lie, I'm very competitive, but I didn't want to get into competitive until I had a coach who pretty much told me, why are you running? She's like, you need to be competitive. You have you're made to try. Just try it. And this is before they had age group. I was running masters. So I was running elite masters. So that's going to get you that. I promise you that right there will wake you up to see what your level is.
Yeah.
But I tell people all the time, it doesn't have to be intimidating. You can run for fun. You can run with a group. You can just go run for yourself, but get off the couch and go do it. And that's a big thing. Some people they're so intimidated, so scared. And I've said before, I think OCR needs to go another route. Everything they show is the elites. They always show the elites, which is great. You know, you have elites, but show the other guys. Show the Joe Schmoes who are trying. Show the guy who can barely get over, but next time he did get over. You know, that's more inspiring than watching Robert Killian win again, which I love Killian. I've known him. He's a great guy. But the fact is that watching that show, it makes you feel like I can't accomplish that. When you watch somebody like for me, it's I mean, well, I won't say for me because everybody thinks I'm a big guy and they call me Shrek because I am a pretty big guy running down the thing, but I'm fast. But I've seen some that, I mean, I won't lie to you, watching some of the Oscar Mikes and stuff, and these guys on wheelchairs with no legs.
Yes.
I get so emotional just watching. I will sit there, stop. I've stopped in a competitive race because I was running an ultra and I was on my second lap. I stopped for 10 minutes to watch and help just because I was so moved by it. And I was in the middle of a race competitive. I didn't care. I lost my whole composure. I wanted to see him get it because he was in his wheelchair and he wanted to make it across the traverse, and he did. And I started crying, and it's awesome.
It is emotional. That's when I was in Dallas, that was the one thing oh my gosh, I was just overwhelmed with just watching all of that and just the emotions. I'm like, so I totally agree with you on that one. I've seen people out in Seattle and stuff. I saw a guy that was probably 300 or 400 pounds and he was just trying to get through. I'm like, dude, you got this. And that's what I love about the open waves, is just seeing everybody cheer everybody on, and that spirit that's a part of it. So
well, that's what I tell most people. I tell them, look, you're running your race. You paid for this. This is your race. You're not running for anything but yourself. So, you know, some people, I got to do 30 burpees. Well, if you don't want to do them, don't do 30 burpees. It's on you. It's what you want to do. If you feel, and one of the best things I've done, and people, so many people have adopted this method. What I tell them, if you're running with a group, here's the best thing to do. Because you always want to get one person that's really good, and they always keep asking me to do the stuff. If every one of you must try the obstacle. If one of you complete the obstacle, no one does burpees. If no one can complete it, everyone does 5 burpees.
That's how we split up our, like, if somebody can't complete the obstacle and they know that they have burpees, we as a team do the burpees with them, so we can split it up. But
like I'm saying, but if everyone's cheering each other on, you know, if he can finally make it across, then we don't have to do any burpees. Come on, Joe, let's go. Come on, bro. And it makes it more intense because everybody's hoping somebody makes it because nobody wants to do the burpees. So, I see more enjoyment that way, that, you know, because that whole burpee thing is out their head. You're running for fun. You know, you're running to do it. Okay. Well, guess what? If one of y'all is going to make it, and let's cheer them on. You know, and I say, you know, it doesn't have to always be your best guy. Let's see if you can get one of the other guys. Hey, why don't you try and make it, you know?
Yeah, I do know
it's
that.
All support. It's all support.
Yes. Do you have any obstacles that you struggle with?
No. I hate saying it. My biggest obstacle struggling, it sounds stupid, is running. If I could run faster, I could be elite. I could be one of the tops. When I run, honestly, I've run, say my last 15 Spartans I've run a clean race every time. I never miss an obstacle. It kills me, but I'm so out of wind because, and I do train. I'm a bigger guy. I usually stay between 235 and 240. And I have slimmed down, but when I was at 220, I wasn't strong enough. I didn't feel I was. So I've always said I like my comfortable weight. So my race weight is 230s usually, my race weight. But knock on wood, I usually have a clean race. Now I won't lie to you. I did the battle race, which was just before COVID hit. And it was a prelude for us to do OCR Worlds, and we tried out a bunch of stuff. I was so spit because I did what we call Warzone. Warzone is basically like a world's toughest. How many laps can you do in 8 hours? By my third lap, I couldn't feel my forearms because Sid had so many grip obstacles that I couldn't feel my forearms. So let's just say that I struggled. So I got through it, but I struggled after. So lengthwise, I mean, there's so many times going over and gripping, And it's funny because a bunch of my friends are Ninja Warriors. They have a Ninja Warrior course in New Orleans. So I train with them sometimes. And of course, they're all like, come on, you can get it. You can get it. I'm like, dude, this is my third lap. This is your first. Let me be.
Don't judge.
So, yeah.
Don't judge.
Don't judge me, bro. Don't judge me.
What are some of the other races down south that you enjoy? Because Spartan's kind of everywhere, but like up here, we don't have Savage yet.
No. Let's touch base on that. I hope Spartan sees this. There is no Spartan down south. The closest down south is Texas and Florida. They've had Alabama twice, and I hate saying it, but it's always been a horrible course. Nothing against Alabama. It just seems to be where the time of year and where they put it at. It just doesn't seem to be nice for everybody. There's a huge area in New Orleans where they ran Tough Mudder 2 years in a row. That's gorgeous. That it was a 10-mile course that it could be done easily. They could have a super here, no problem. You have the hotels, you have the flights, you have easily getting to New Orleans. But for some reason, no one wants to even discuss it. Yes, it's flat. I get it. There are hills somewhere, but it is a little frustrating because I even tried to talk with the guys to do a stadium at the Superdome. Granted, the Superdome wanted $1 million, and we're like, yeah, sorry, bro, not happening. But and getting back to it, I'm sorry, but you said South. Really, I race every Texas Spartan because there's nothing in anywhere but Texas, which it's not too far, but it's still definitely there's no Spartan down south.
They need to change that.
I've been a very big advocate for that. So some of the other races, we have Savage down here. There's several Savage races. And it's still, I won't lie, distance-wise. Louisiana, Mississippi really doesn't have. I don't think Arkansas has a couple of them. Arkansas, I think, has Conquer the Gauntlet, which is a pretty fun race to do. They have something called Pegatron, which is pegboard going across this peg. Trust me, look up when you have a chance. Google Pegatron, and you will be like, oh my God, they are sick. Green Beret Challenge is a very fun one that I love and enjoy doing. Mark Bellius does an amazing job, but it's a lot of times it wants to be team, and sometimes it's hard to find a team. So he's gotten away and he's starting to do more individual. Individual. So, but there's a lot of team where like a 4-person team, be it all male, all female, or what do you call it? Co-ed. There's a new one coming out. Ms. Julie's putting on one in Mississippi, which I'm excited because I'm actually ambassador. It's the Celtic Warrior Challenge. It's going to be in Meridian, and it's going to be like in October. They've changed the time, so I'm hoping they have it because it was supposed to be in July. That didn't happen. But it's supposed to be in October, and there's quite a few big dogs. I call them big dogs, social media wise, because like Amber's involved. Amber's involved with everything social media. And then Vanessa, there's just a lot of people. Lisa is out of Texas. She's involved. There's so many different, Joey's involved, who's he's Bars and Scars and all kind of stuff like that, different ones. So there's so many involved to be ambassadors for her event to put it on. And she's really doing a good job, and having something down south other than the battle OCR is going to be nice to just see something else coming through and see what they do with it. The quality
That's awesome.
Of it.
Do you have any do you have any local races at all in Louisiana or smaller?
Battle OCR is our only one. We've put on, so they had a splitting of the guard. Sid took over and went his own way and created his own battle. And he's had about 3 or 4 events from that. But him getting so involved with OCR Worlds that he takes battle and that's kind of our guinea pig. So we do a lot of things that I was shocked when I had a group of 4 or 5 flying from England to come do the battle race. I'm like, I love we've gotten bigger. Yes, I get it, but it's still battle race. We're still local, and y'all just flew in from England. We were stoked. Last year we did one in St. Francisville, which is kind of hilly for this area. Like everything's flat, but you go a little north, and it does become more hilly. It's not like 1,500 when it comes to elevation, but it's steep enough to where it could be if it was keep going up. It's that peak where it's straight up. And we had people from Texas coming in, and we were so excited. Texas is joining us. It's like, whoa, are we getting there? And then all of a sudden I see England flying in. I'm like, bro, y'all are dedicated.
You're right. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's definitely some dedication.
But that's our local, and then we will do weekend. It's been hard the last few with everything, but we do weekend workouts for free get people in, teach them about OCR, let them know what's going on, and then we'll try to support local events, be it the Louisiana Marathon or they have one called the Mardi Gras Mambo 15K and stuff like that.
stuff like that. Are you guys going to try to like get more people wanting to be a part of OCR down there, or is it kind of like a slow process?
We always do. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, my hardest battle down here is Louisiana is known for food, not for health. And most people here would rather have a po' boy than go run 5 miles. So that's kind of what my battle is, which it's understandable. Like I said, everyone has their life choices and what they do.
Yes.
But there is a community down here that is into fitness. But unfortunately, the obstacle is still intimidating for a lot of them. It's still intimidating. And you also have, I would say, you have runners. Runners are so worried about their time. I get it. You're a runner and you have a PR and you want to work on your, but this isn't running. This is trail. This is different. Don't worry about your time. And there's so many of them that don't want to try because they don't want to mess up their time. I'm like, I appreciate that, but you can't worry about that, bro.
Get out of the box. Get out of your comfort zone.
Well, that's my biggest excitement. When I go to a race, people say, what's your most exciting thing about going to an OCR? It's the unknown. It is the unknown. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to have a blast doing it because I accept what's around me and I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I say this, the best part and the worst part about OCR. The best part is driving to, the worst part is driving home. Because you're so excited going and you're so tired leaving and you're so like, oh, it's over.
Yes. It's like the hangover from a race because you get excited and then afterwards you're so tired, you're so beat up, but in the back of you's like, when's the next one? When's the next one? When's the next one? And it's always like the dirt or bruise thing when you take a shower afterwards and you're getting all the mud off. It's like, oh, is that dirt? Is that bruise? Oh, that's a bruise. That ain't coming off.
So you sound like my sister because so she hates me. I don't bruise. Like it drives her insane. I can tell you the race. I got 1 bruise so far in all these races. I did West Virginia. I ran the Beast for West Virginia on that Saturday. They had one of the obstacles where you had to flip yourself over, and I almost slipped and caught myself. When I caught it, it left a huge bruise on my bicep. And so I called her up and said, here's your picture. There you go. I got a bruise. Leave me be. You know, 'cause she's like, you know, she gets so mad because she has all these little Spartan kisses and stuff, they call them. And I'm like, I'm good. I don't have any. You suck.
What was your first Spartan race?
First Spartan race was Dallas. So I'm gonna tell you how I did a warrior dash. Like everybody comes, that was where my sister challenged me. I didn't do anything for the rest of that year. It was in October. But I was like, I was done with it. And then I felt really good after the training. I'm like, I enjoy this running part. I really enjoy this. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna train for another one. So I trained for the next warrior dash, got my brother involved, like we said. So I'm like, you know what, I'm into this because I got involved with Battle 611 during that time. I wanted a local group. So Sid, who's he's a Spartan coach. Sid actually trains the obstacle. He trains SGX. He teaches people, like he's a certified, when they do the obstacle, I forgot what it's called, like the obstacle readiness on Fridays where people go certified. He's one of the coaches that coaches that. So he teaches that part. So he got me into Spartan and he's like, come do one. Okay, my first race is a Beast. So my very first Spartan race, why not? Let's go run a Spartan Beast. I never ran over 5 miles before, and I'm sitting here running 13 miles. And then the next day I decided I'm going to walk the sprint because I couldn't run anymore. I got a mile in, I'm like, I'm just going to walk the rest of it. So, and then 2 weeks later was the Alabama Super, and I got my trifecta just because I wanted to complete it. You know, I'm like, you know what, it's October, November. Thought I broke my ankle twice, and now I wrap my ankles for every race. I learned real quick.
Same here.
Trail race, wrap your ankles, bro. So
yeah, I learned that lesson too. Learned that lesson really well. I take care of my ankles because we got some races out here that'll kill them.
Yes.
How far have you traveled for a race?
West Virginia is probably the furthest I've gone so far.
Furthest.
Most of the time, that was the first time I've flown for a race. Every other race I've done, I've driven. It'd be a 10-hour drive, whatever. Like I said, I do all the Texas races. So I've gone Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, and then Glen Rose, which is Dallas, where you went.
Yeah.
But that's technically, if you fly to the airport is Dallas. You still got to drive an hour and a half. I think it's 85 miles to get to Glen Rose. So it's like, okay, we're in Dallas.
Right.
And then I've done a few races in Georgia and Florida. So It's more south, but yeah, finally, I won West Virginia. I wanted a trifecta weekend, so it was fun.
Nice. Haven't done a trifecta weekend yet. That's hopefully on the list next year. We'll see what happens. Everything's up in the air. What are you guys doing? Like, you're obviously still training, but anything different? Like, are you doing virtual races or anything like that with everything that's going on?
So I've actually taken up biking more. I started doing more biking. I guess because my ankles were kind of getting beat up a little bit with the running, and I'm like, you know what, I don't have a race actually. So I said, let me try biking a little bit. And it's a lot of fun. It gets you that cardio, because I ran yesterday. I did a 9-mile and I felt good doing it. I hadn't ran in probably a week. So it definitely keeps that cardio going where it's not beating up your joints as much. But I've done a few virtuals. I did the virtual Spartan. I did a virtual Savage. So I've done a few virtuals, but it's just, I don't lie, finance-wise right now, it's kind of hard to spend, anywhere from $30 to $70 for a race that you're doing in the backyard. To me, it's just, I'm not paying. When I pay for a race, I pay for the experience. You always say you want your bling and all that, but you also want the experience. You want to go see your people, meet new people, whatever the case may be. So it's hard to spend that money knowing, but I mean, it goes for a good cause. Don't get me wrong. A lot of times it's going towards something I love supporting, but when you're not working right now, it's kind of hard.
Kind of hard. Yeah, I can understand that. That's been kind of my thing too, is as much as I want to do the virtual races, if I'm going to spend that money, I want to have, like you said, that experience. I want to be able to spend time with my family that I've come to have now. And just like, there's no spectators right now. There's no festival area. I'm like, well, I don't want to do it then.
That's kind of, they did the Jacksonville a couple weeks ago. I think it was in June. They did the Jacksonville sprint. And I hate saying it, and I guess I'm kind of a snob. I wasn't driving all the way to Jacksonville to do a sprint. It just, I'm sorry, but it's a 5K. I'm not going to drive. It's an 8-hour drive to Jacksonville. I'm not driving 8 hours to do a 5K.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I justify it. Normally it's a super or better when I do a race. And then I'll tack on the sprint later. Unless I go, like I said, my favorite race, it sounds stupid, is the Dallas Stadium. That is my favorite race by far.
By far.
I don't know what it is. What about it? I don't know. It's just a different challenge. You don't get dirty. You kind of air condition in and off because you're inside, outside. But there's just something about it. It's so much fun. And what I loved about it, if we ever get back to it, the spectators are on the field. They're in the stands. They watch you on the board. So there's so much going on. It feels kind of like a football game. It's so much fun, and it's indoor. So if the family comes with you, they can sit down in the air condition, because most of them, Papa doesn't want to see this. He's bored. What's going on? But it's cool because they make it very interactive, and that's why I love about it, because it's so interactive. It's so much, and there's a lot of buzz and there's a vibe going on, like any other race. But this one, there's a lot more family involved. Like, you can bring spectators better than most because they're involved throughout the whole race at some point. Unlike when you start a race and you see them maybe midway through it and you see them at the end.
Yeah.
So it's definitely more involvement, and they get to experience more, and that's why I think I enjoyed the most, because there's a lot more visiting. It's only a 5K, whatever the case may be, but it still is just more. To me, it's just more fun.
More fun.
And some days you just don't want to get dirty. Some days you love to. Some days you just don't feel like getting dirty. This is nice jersey. I want to keep it clean, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I am not that way. I get mad when there's not enough mud.
So I get mad so often when people say, "Oh, it's a mud race." No, it is an obstacle course. If there's mud there, we're gonna go through it. Yes, but we're not making the mud. It's not a tough mudder where they sit there and let's dig holes over here and make mud, and we're gonna get you muddy, which is great. But I'm more of I enjoy the obstacle. I enjoy the natural. If I'm running through, like, they had us going through this whole stream, and it's like, okay, this is a lot of water, and it's pushing you one way, pushing you another. Yeah. But it's a good challenge. But they didn't have to dig a hole and you climb through the mud, unless it's the dunk wall, which, you got to do dunk wall.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Well, up here, it doesn't matter where you go. You're going to get mud because
muddy. I've heard. Yeah. Trust me. I've heard stories. Everyone's like, oh, you got to come to Seattle. You got to come to Seattle. There's so much mud. I'm like, what about that? Other than going to the fish market, I'm down to go to that fish market and catch a fish. But what about that?
Because the mud is like, it's part of like the terrain. It's part of the trail. I swear they take us up the back of this hill that is the most biggest pain in the ass because of how muddy it gets, and you're like grabbing roots of trees just to pull yourself up. Like that, the mud is just part of Seattle. They can try to avoid it. It won't happen. It won't happen. There's always mud up here. But Seattle's like, people complain about the venue because they haven't moved it, but they've been able to really use it to its full advantage, which is great to see. So
that's how I feel about, that's why I love going to Austin. Austin is a really good venue, and they've been there for like 7 years. It's Reveal Park, and there's several other OCRs that go to this park, or it's ranch. I'm sorry, it's a ranch. And there's like huge cliffs and mountains and all this stuff, which I had no idea there was even in Texas. They had cliffs and stuff, and it's got a pretty good elevation. But they've gotten smart over the years and kept different things, and like they built this huge bridge with wood from Spartan. They had Spartan races, and you'll see like a half of a mask that's like where they spray painted and they had it, but it's just slats of wood. They built this whole bridge just from reclaimed wood from a Spartan race.
That's awesome.
So it's definitely cool how they've incorporated that in there. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Do you have any goals that you're heading towards, like with OCR?
I want a podium. I mean, it's like everybody, and I know it's kind of cliche, but I would love to podium. I've podiumed a couple of 5K races, which has been cool. Especially one was real cool because it was a local back home. My sister and them put on this 5K race, and I podiumed. I'm like, this is the shit. Because everybody knows me here. You know, people know me. but I really would. I would love to just a podium, just because some days it's kind of disheartening because you see people that you train with or you join. It's like, it's been several times I've missed out like top 10. And I know I'm not the fastest, and I know that it's just a goal. I would say if you want to set your goals, set them. If you don't accomplish them, at least you're getting better every time. But if I would have to pick one goal, yes, I would love to podium at least once. Yeah. Just to get that feel and see. So yeah.
So
even though most of the time there's no one there to watch the
watch the podium presentations.
So,
but you have the picture.
Oh yeah. I'm very and it's funny, I'm very shy when it comes to I don't take my own pictures. People joke about it. Oh, you're all over Instagram, you're all over Facebook. Look at every picture. It's someone taking a picture of me that I thought was cool. I put it on there. I do not take pictures of myself. I have a buddy, and he comes to me and says, we were at a Christmas party. He says, I got to ask you a question. I'm like, okay, it's about these races you do. So he was like really intense. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking he wants to know how to do this or whatever. He looks at me and he says, do you have a photographer who follows you? I'm like, what? He says, all these pictures. I said, bro, they just catch me on the race. I said, I'm just photogenic, I guess. I don't know, but it was just like, he was so, and people who don't know, he didn't get it. He's like, do they follow you around with a camera? No. I just got lucky and had a pretty good pic. There's been some that trust me, I didn't post those pics because they're ugly. So,
I think everybody has a few of those.
Oh yeah. That's what I said. They needed, somebody had came up with what was it, Ugly Pick Friday or something? And it's like, post your worst race pick. Yeah. So
yeah, we've on our team we've had people make memes of the worst picks, and it's pretty. Mm-hmm. There's some harsh ones out there.
So Kelsey, Storm the Spartan. Kelsey is probably she's one of my favorite ones because she will sit there and you send her a pic and she will take it and it's closer and closer and closer and gets to like a certain, like your face. And then she puts like some comment on like, what are you thinking of? Or did I turn the oven off? Or is my dog okay?
I've seen those.
She is awesome with those. Yeah, I do.
What's been your worst injury?
I've never suffered a major injury. My ankle's probably
ankle's the worst.
Yeah, ankle's probably the worst. I've had a couple times where I've tweaked it. I literally, one race, I ran the entire race, no problem. I was at Fort Benning, Georgia. Ran the race, and it was a really good race. Watching my coach, who was coming in, she was fighting for third place overall for elites. And she's a master. She won first in masters, but she's running for overall for elites. She came in third. But I'm jumping them down. Come on, you got it. And I tweaked my ankle doing that. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. So I mean, it wasn't bad. I kind of shook it off, and then we jogged another lap. We did another round just for fun, and I jogged it. But yeah, it probably wasn't the smartest because it was throbbing. But I've been fortunate. I've never really suffered any major major injuries. So I've seen some major ones. But it's kind of one of those things. It's part of it. As I say, you just don't know what to expect.
Exactly. What do you think the rest of the year is going to look like?
I would honestly, I will be shocked if I run another race this year just because of how it's constantly getting canceled. I can honestly see Dallas happening if everything in October, if everything slows down, because it's so far away from everything. Because Dallas is like, you've been there. It's 29 square miles of whatchamacallit. But the thing is gatherings when if they have, because there's gonna be 10,000 people there if everybody were to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the average numbers. So and all I would not be shocked if they say, you know what, we're just gonna call it a year. I get they're fighting for it, but I think if they were to just call it and stop and save what they have now instead of spending trying to save this, I think it would go a long way. Because right now, like I won't lie, I made a mistake. And I say I made a mistake. I was excited, but Bone Frog was happening in Virginia Beach next month. I was so stoked.
Yeah.
My buddy, you might know Danny. Danny, he goes by Dominus.
Yeah,
Danny's everywhere. So Danny's a Bone Frog, and he's after me. He's like, look, I said, dude, bro, I'm going to do it. I signed up. And he makes the joke with me and says, as long as it doesn't get canceled. A week later, he says, bro, I'm so sorry, because I had booked my flight. I booked that, and I was excited because I was stationed in Virginia Beach in the military. So I hadn't been there in 20 years. So I'm like excited to see what it's turned into, what's become. So it's kind of like a homecoming. No, sorry, bro. You can transfer to Talladega or come back next year is pretty much my only choices.
Wow. That's pretty much the case up here too. We're still waiting to see if Seattle happens, but I highly doubt it.
I really, because of everything spiking so much, I really just think this year is going to be a wash. I really do. Yeah. And then hopefully we can, like everybody's hoping. I won't lie to you, as much as I'm hoping OCR, I'm hoping college football happens. I'm a huge LSU fan, like I told you. I hope I'm jonesing for college football, and the way they're talking, it's probably not going to happen, which I can see the safety and I get it. But I mean, you can also be a little, you want to see, that's something that gets you through things.
Yes.
So, it's your zen, it's your safe place. So,
yeah, that's kind of, I was talking with Erica last week about that. Is for a lot of people, OCRs that's their place. That's their, that's what gets them through to, the next hill that they're going through. So that's been really hard, is not having that place. And I can see where, like, the sport's not happening. It's for a lot of people, that's going to be a struggle.
So I'm a diehard college fan. I love college. So one of my many hats, I work for the Saints on Sundays. I'm a game day guy. So I'm a game day guy. So I'm on the field. Usually we do special events. We have anything from the LSU band was there for one game. I had to kind of help out and make sure they didn't, where they're going to go and all that stuff. But I'm just a help out guy. Basically, I get to be on the field for free every game. That's one perk why I get to do it. So I won't lie. I get to know a lot of players, but taking that away, you won't be able to do that this year. I can, but the pro still not, to me, it's not college. Everywhere is different. Down south, it's college. Up north, it's more pro. Y'all have the Seahawks. I don't know why. I mean, they're okay. But anyway. No, I mean, I love Joshua with it. I always joke this. I'm an LSU fan. I'm a Saints watcher because I watch what they do and I pull for them. But if LSU loses, that's a bad week. That's just how it always is. It's a bad week, bro.
Yep, I've noticed that football's really huge down there. Yes. I get flack because I'm not a Seahawks fan. I'm a Ravens fan, so I get some shit up here.
That's crazy. So if not for the Saints, the Ravens is my other team I pull for. I've always pulled. I love the Ravens. When Ray Lewis was playing for him, Ray Lewis was one of my favorite players. I'm a defensive guy. I've always loved defense. I mean, I can go way back and start telling you names of defensive players, but I coached defense. I was always in defense. So I appreciate, and I just fell in love with the Ravens, him and then I also loved the Packers because Clay Matthews was playing for the Packers and I loved watching him play. So it was just, I enjoy players more than teams, except for you pull for the Saints because they're home. And then, as I said, LSU, there is no other team. So that's kind of how it goes with me.
No, are you sure?
Well, that's a joke about it. So I have a shirt that says it. If you're not pulling for LSU on the back, you must be Tiger bait, is what it says on the back. So yeah,
that's awesome. So, how are you doing, like, your ambassadorships? Because, like, there's no real races. There's no.
We're just trying. So for the Spartan part, they're trying to do a lot of virtual stuff.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just keeping up with it. I don't know how that's going to work. Legendborne, we try and post as much as possible, even doing workouts, just being supportive of it. Dave and Abby, they've done a lot of things. Most people don't realize, but Legendborne is a very small company. They're worldwide, but I think, and Dave, please don't get mad at me, but I think they have possibly like 7 or 8 employees total.
Wow.
For the entire company. So I mean, he does a lot. Dave is full time. He's I think he's a captain in the military. I'm not saying Army or Air Force, but he's a captain in the military full time, and he does his business on the side. So most of the time, he stuffs his own, like sends them out, everything. He usually gets a complaint from me because he messed up one of my orders. So, stuff like that. I don't mean like that. It happened one time, and the jersey it wasn't even his fault. Something got messed up where the jersey got tar on it because UPS messed it up, or FedEx, or one of them. Something messed up. It was nobody's fault. I mean, just it happens. But he fixed it right away. And that's the good part about it. It was messed up, and he fixed it, didn't question it. Okay, we'll get you another one.
That's awesome.
And had it fixed. So it was definitely, their customer service is amazing. But going back to the ambassadorships, is just trying to everyone support each other. Like I said, thanks to social media, a lot of stuff has become, I'm not on Facebook as much because my son told me Facebook is for old people. So I'm like, okay, great. So everything that usually is on Facebook is because it comes from my Instagram. I've gotten real big on Instagram. I enjoy that platform. I'm not big on Twitter. I won't lie, I hate Twitter because I can't follow it because there's so much stuff jumping at me. I'm like, I just can't follow this, bro. It just gives me a headache. And then Snapchat, I'm sorry, Snapchat makes no sense. Here's a picture. It's gone. It's gone. Why'd you send me this? It's gone. So it just, I don't quite get it. Maybe I'm just too old. I always say we have that perfect age because we knew what rotary phone is and we know what an iPhone is. So we're that perfect age group that we saw it all.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I had a black and white TV. I had to turn the channel through 3 channels that they had available, and that's it. My son loses his mind when he can't get online because it's not streaming. Are you kidding me right now? Bro, I had dial-up, cuz. You want to hear the sound? I have it on my phone. I do the dial-up sound just to piss him off. AOL. This is what I had to deal with. So
I had a car a few years ago that it had the manual. You had to roll up the windows. My daughter's like, I'm getting such an arm workout. And I'm like, girl, I've done that most of my life. And I told her to roll the window up, and I did the little hand motion. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, roll the window up.
Someone made one of the best points I've seen. You want to not have your car stolen? Get a stick shift. No one's going to steal it.
I can.
No, I'm saying, but they can't drive it nowadays. I taught my son. My son knows how to drive stick shift, and my other one's learning. I taught him. I taught him how to drive a stick shift. Hopefully, but it's unless you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah. But it's just one of the things that people can't do it nowadays. They lose their mind. Wait a minute, this is a stick shift.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
it's not that hard.
No.
Yeah. How, obviously you're not working. How's everything else going with all of this? Because everybody seems to have a different experience depending on where they're at in the nation.
I'll say community. So, community-wise, it's gotten better. The city of New Orleans was kind of more in lockdown for longer than anywhere else in the state. And I won't lie to you, if you walk down Bourbon Street right now, it's a ghost town. You'd be shocked. Like, most people see Bourbon and there's thousands of people walking around. Yeah, it's a ghost town. And you see videos of it. But I think everyone's coping. Of course, people are half are upset about the mask, half aren't. And I'm like, look, I'm the type, I'll wear a mask if I'm told to. But I won't lie, I'm not an advocate. If you say I don't have to wear a mask, I probably won't put it on.
Yeah.
I'm kind of nonchalant, and I probably should be. I don't know. I mean, to me, there's so many conflicting things about it. It's hard to get into that subject because it can be a debate. We can talk about this for another 2 hours if you wanted, because they start telling you the masks aren't good, and we need to have them. And I joke about it and say, well, somebody wants to sell masks, so guess what? I bought a bunch of these masks. We must wear them because I sold these. Kind of scenario. There's always a story why it's happening. I hate saying it. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm sorry. I am. Don't get me started.
We have a running joke in my office now. Our receptionist she starts getting anxious and a little stressed out. And I swear every morning my boss will walk out of his office. So did you hear what's going on today? And just starts going off, and you can just see her tensing up. And he's like, well, I stressed you out for the day. I'm like, Dude, quit. Our days just started.
But and like I said, for the most part, it's kind of shocking to me because a lot of the older people who you would think be more like paying attention, most of them, they're walking around doing their thing. I'm like, okay, who am I to tell you no? But I'm kind of shocked at what people are saying. Older ones are more acceptable. Okay, like, oh.
We're noticing a lot of that up here too, at least with our patients. They're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, some of these, I hate saying the word idiot, but some of these people are just idiots. If you're going to have a COVID party to see who gets it, and then the girl died from it and said, I think I made a mistake. A 30-year-old died from catching COVID at the party because they were seeing who could catch it. I'm like, how dumb are you?
It's not the chicken pox. It's not the chicken pox.
Why do you have to eat a Tide Pod? What is the deal? Shit.
Is there any like words of wisdom for like training, getting through this?
My favorite chime, I guess you could say, is put in the time. No matter what's going on, you have to find the time to do it. No one's going to find it for you. If you don't find the time, you're always going to find the excuse. When you stop making excuses, you have nothing but time left. And that goes a long way.
So
if you don't put the time in, you can't expect results. You don't train for something, you're not going to get this. You're not going to run a 10-minute mile if you haven't ran in 10 years.
Yeah.
You have to get to where you are. But there are little goals. You don't have to run a marathon your first try. Go run a mile, go walk a mile, get out the house. And I will say, with the COVID has helped a lot of people's health because people are getting out doing it to an extent. As soon as stay home stopped, I don't see as many people out anymore. I won't lie to you. I had this place because I live not far from one of the colleges, and they have a parking garage. That was my go-to. I called it a concrete mountain because there's no hills down here. So I had the concrete mountain.
Yeah.
They got closed because too many people, and they had accidents, and idiots were riding their bikes down and wiped out some woman and broke her ribs. And I'm like, why are y'all messing with my happy place? I've been coming here for 5 years, and now y'all want to close it. So now I had to find something else. So, I know a guy. So.
That's what happened up here is all of our parks, all of our trails, everything got closed. I'm like,
right,
dude, I don't want to have to break the law, but I need my trail. So
it's definitely different. I say it's a different world, and then you just have to, and like I tell people, you can mope about it, or you can just come to reality and figure out something else.
Yeah. That seems to be what a lot of people are doing, because still trading, still trying to get through it, but finding a new way of doing it. So what are you doing for your mental health? Like, a lot of people don't have.
I won't lie. So you might meet me in person and look at me and say, that's a mean dude. I'm actually one of the most outgoing, go-lucky guys. For some reason, I'm very thankful. I see the outer, the silver line. I've always see stuff in a good way. I don't see the dreary and the devastation. I just see it as good. So, it's like one of the things I just try. It helps me to talk to people and help them out. So if I can give somebody a text or something that day, bro, like a friend of mine today. And it's funny how Instagram works, because you have so many people all over the country you talk with daily sometimes.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, she's in Philly. Oh, this is ridiculous. Sorry, my phone keeps going to the charger. Is like, it's not supported. Well, you're charging. Anyway, she's in Philly, and they finally opened the gyms up there, and she's doing it. I'm like, hope how she put something, it was Savage or something. Her shirt was Savage. I'm like, you want Savage today? She's like, no, it kind of sucked. I'm like, you know what? There's two ways. Some are going to suck, some are going to be awesome, but they all count.
Yes.
That's the best way to say it. They all count. Even though it was horrible today, you didn't sit eating bonbons. You got up and went worked out.
Yeah.
It's going to count. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
right on. Anything you're looking forward to next year before we?
Racing.
Racing.
Racing. Sorry, my nose is itching. I think my dog's making my nose itch or something. I'm really hoping that we can get past and get some kind of normalcy. If we can get some normalcy and we can actually get back to racing and, just have that familiarity with everybody, I think that helps get everybody get back to normal. once we can have a normal schedule. So yeah, I'm just hoping, honestly, I say it jokingly, but I really am hoping we can race next year, because it goes mental health wise, just physical health wise, it goes a long way.
Yes, it does. Yeah. I'm hoping we race next year too, because there's a local race that I'm the race director for, and it got postponed this year. And I was like, come on, my first year, are you kidding me? So I would love to race again. I miss being around everybody. I live out in the middle of nowhere in Washington. So it's like, I'm 2 hours to 3 hours away from my teammates and my race family. Right. So I'm like, are you guys kidding me right now?
And I'm saying and a lot of times there's locals here that I only see them during races. Like I'm gonna go, I have two, there's a couple that lives, Megs and them live probably, I'd say maybe 5 minutes from me. I actually saw her at Home Depot a couple weeks ago, just out of the blue, but literally I don't see them around here. I see them at races. Like we're in Alabama, we're in Dallas. I run into them. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You live 5 minutes from my house. I never see you. So it's funny how it just brings everybody together in that community. Yeah. So yeah. And that camaraderie goes a long way. To me personally, I just think because it builds that family, and everybody wants their pictures. You want pictures with your family. Because now it's not, we're racing. It's like, God, I miss these races. God, I miss this, which is good because people are trying to find the better side of it. It's like, this sucks, because it really does.
Yeah.
You don't want to say it, but it sucks. But so it's like, instead of sitting there doing it, it's like they try. Okay, look, it's was it Metal Monday or Fire Jump Friday? It's like, okay, well, I jumped this fire 2 years ago, but so.
I've only got like 2 good fire jump pictures, because I trip over the fire every time I try to jump over that sucker.
So I have a tendency, and I supported Laura. So Laura Messner is one of my very good friends. Laura's an amazing person, and she always strikes the Messner. Yeah. So I started doing it at my fire jumps, and it became kind of like the deal. It's like, so what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm supporting my friend. She strike a Messner. When you have Spartan create a hashtag that says strike a Messner, I'm gonna, kind of cut up and go with it. So yeah. Right. So, this girl has so many people do it all over the world. I mean, I think on Facebook, she has like 5, you can put 1,000 pictures in one album. She has like 5 or 6 albums.
That's what I thought.
Messners.
Yeah.
It's something ridiculous. I'm like, yeah.
I saw her in Dallas when I was there, and I was so excited to meet her, because I follow her, and I'm just like, oh my God, like had a fangirl moment.
and that's funny. So the first time I met her, I did the same thing. I was fanboy, and she kind of put it in perspective for me. In this community, yes, it's a small one, but no one's like, who are you or what do you want? Kind of like some sports, I won't lie, I even deal with it in professional sports. I deal with some that they just don't want it. And it's like, bro, these are fans, people want to say hello to you. Yeah. But they were just so forthcoming and just want to talk to you and ask you where you're from and this. And we got a friendship going from it. Yeah. We started a friendship from just that because, communication wise, and I won't lie, I'm not a shy person to some extent. Like, I still haven't spoken to Faye Stenning. It's not, I don't know why. I go to see Faye Stenning because he's standing right there. I just can't speak. I kind of go dolphin. Like I'm sitting here, Lindsay Webster's next to me, and I'm bullshitting with her like it's nobody's business because we're cut up because Ryan tried to come in the gate, and he's like, don't you know who I am? And the little guy's like, you better get your ID. And we bust out laughing like, he's like the world champion, and go get your ID, bro. and we're in BFE, Alabama. And I'm looking at Lindsay. I'm like, poor dude. She's like, I told him. So it's funny how they're just normal people. I mean, you see them all over these formats, but they're just normal people, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's nice to see that the egos aren't getting out of check, and
no, absolutely.
It's humbling. It's a community. The race, everybody it's a race community. And and I tell people, you can't, unless you experience it, you don't get it. You can't see it. I mean, because I said, you will run your butt off and you're going to challenge this person. At the end, you're like, dude, good job. Even if he beats you, it's still that whole, it's not like, oh God, he beat me. It's like you giving hugs because it's just such a great thing. But even I've actually ran races with guys and we became friends during the race. We did another lap just to have fun after competitive because we enjoyed so much. And then, I said social media, hey, look me up on Instagram, what's going on with this? And they start looking me up and then we start chatting. And next thing you know, we meet up at another race and then we all hang out. And it's funny how, I don't know how to define this, but this community is so trusting. Like I've shared
so many hotel rooms with people I just know from races or from Instagram, but I know them well enough, I feel, to trust them to share a room with them. I mean, I joke about it, but poor Laura, I asked Laura, do you realize I don't live in Texas? Because every time she flies to Dallas, she calls me, can you pick me up at the airport? Laura, I live in Louisiana, but I'm always, it's coincidental. I'm actually going to the race. Yes, I will get you, but you can't assume I live here. It's like, I don't live in Texas, but yeah, I mean, for like 3 or 4 years in a row, she's like, hey, can you pick me at the airport? Yeah, when? Well, I'm flying, my flight lands at this time. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming from New Orleans. I'll leave 3 hours earlier. It's okay. I don't mind. But no, it's all good fun. But I mean, the fact is that you just, it just, everyone's so welcoming. And it's like, there's been times where I had a friend, they got to the race and they gave away their room. I mean, I said, look, you can sleep on the floor if you want to have, you just want a place to sleep and you want a shower. I get it.
Yeah.
But they're overbooked and they gave away the room and they're like, sorry. We just flew in to West Virginia, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, that doesn't cut it. Doesn't cut it.
It's like, come on, man.
That's how I have met every member of my team, has been at a race, randomly, just like, we were Team Turtle for a while and I met people there and it just kind of expanded from that. One of my best friends, we met at a Spartan workout tour and we didn't know who we were until we went to breakfast and were amazed by the amount of food one of our friends was eating and
devouring.
Yeah, like I've never seen somebody eat that much food in my entire life, but that's
we have one like that. So we'll do our workout tours and we have a little Asian lady named Van. We call her our mascot because Van's gonna run. Van gonna complain a little bit talking about why I do this. I don't know why I do this, and then she gonna video everybody else doing it so she can stop. But we go to eat, and this woman's 5 foot tall, and she will eat me twice as much as what I'm about to eat. She will put it down. I'm like, where? I mean, she probably weighs $110. I'm like, where are you putting it? I'm this big dude. And I said, I eat, a couple of this and I'm good. She's like, oh, you give it, I take it, give it to me. Okay.
That's what Brandon did. And we were just sitting there like, dude, where are you putting it? We went to Montana and he did the same thing at a restaurant. We sat there for like an extra 20 minutes waiting for him to finish his food and everybody else's. And we're just like, dude, where are you putting this? I don't understand. Yeah, it amazes me. But that's the best part about the races, is the people that you randomly just meet and start talking to. And the next thing you know, you're friends, then you're family, and it just goes from there. Have you only been doing it for 3 years or longer?
2016 is when I started.
2016.
That was the first. I think 2015. That was my first race. 2016 was my first Spartan. 2015 is when I first started it. So yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's funny because I have these 2 twin cousins who are younger than me. Right? They're my sister's age, but they've always been athletic. They played softball, volleyball, and they ran Spartan, which I came to Mississippi for a couple of years, and they ran it every year. I'm like, I never even looked at it twice. I was like, damn, I missed all that time because I could have been running. So yeah, but it's all good now. I made up for it.
Yeah, I would say so. 100 races in 3 years. That's holy moly. I don't think I've done half that. Well, I might have done. Yeah, I don't think I've done half that yet. Are you wanting to travel very far to try other venues, other places?
I am dying to go. I want to do the Rat Race weekend so bad. There's a weekend. That's the one with the longest monkey bars in the world or something.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like, it seems like a huge rave, and I'm not a big partier, don't get me wrong. Back in my day I was, but just to experience that different type of how they do stuff there, because people don't realize, Tough Man was the first OCR that everyone knew about. Tough Mudder started from it. Tough Guy. If anybody hasn't watched Rise of the Sufferfest, it's probably that's the best documentary I've ever seen. I mean, I bought it. I rented it one time, watched it, and wanted to watch it again. I couldn't, so I just bought the sucker. Yeah. And he hits on everything, and they talk to so many people about the different ways of it, and explains why you enjoy it. And it doesn't be, your job. You're a pencil pusher in a day. You have that prime, inside you that you want to get out, and you have to, do it. So that's kind of why it's such a, primal thing for it. So
yeah,
definitely, but that's a great, if anyone hasn't watched it, go watch it. It's
Rise
awesome.
of Suffer Fest. Yeah, I watched it. That's an
Yes.
amazing documentary. Yeah. Have you done any of the endurance events like the hurricane heats or anything like that?
So the most endurance I've done is I've run a couple ultras. I personally will not do a hurricane heat. I was in the military. I went through boot camp. I watched what they do. That's freaking boot camp, dude. I hated boot camp. I'm not doing boot camp and paying you to do it. I'm sorry. They just had one this past weekend in Panama City. A lot of friends were going. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to do it. I mean, it'd be fun. Yeah, no, it wouldn't. Yeah. It wouldn't. I'm sorry. Screaming at me, telling me, let's take this dirt and move it over there. I mean, and everybody has their thing. I get it. You do it. Yeah. I just have too many flashbacks of boot camp. And I hated boot camp. I mean, I love my military time. I love when I was in the military. But those 9 weeks of boot camp were hell. I hated that.
I can understand that.
I don't like being fussed at. I'm the type of person, because I'm the type, I want to fix it. So if I'm being fussed at and I try to fix it and you keep fussing at me, bro, I did what you said. Don't quit fussing at me. And that's kind of how I look at it. I was told when they first started hurricane heats, it was a different type, but now it's just a lot of yelling. And I don't know. I'm just going by word of mouth. I've never experienced it, so I'm not one to judge. But and just all I see is yelling, and I had a sergeant who, if I saw him today, me and him probably wouldn't get along, just because I didn't like him back then. And this was 20-something years ago. This was 1992. Yeah, I'm gonna say my age, 1992. Yeah, I was in San Diego, California, in boot camp, and yeah, if I saw that dude right now, yeah, I got you, bro. I was a lot smaller back then. I was a little skinny guy. I was probably like 170. So yeah, I put on about 100 pounds, but no, it's all funny. I mean, I'm sure we'd see each other and I'd buy him a beer. Come on, bro. You know, what's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on the hurricane heats. I haven't thought about it, almost did one, but I'm just like, not
so a friend of mine, Heather did one, and then she told me something that kind of made sense in a way, because she told a guy, she says, I don't think I can do this. And he says, you need to shut up. It's not about what you can do, it's about what they can do. So quit worrying about yourself, and let's worry about making it a team, because you got to do it all together. So the way she said it, the way she made it out, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I still don't want to do it.
Right there with you.
Sweet girl, love you to death, girl, and I will pull for you. Go, boo boo. Okay. But no, all in all, I'm sorry, bro. Not for me. Not for me.
You'll be the cheerleader on the side.
For real, though. Yeah. Now, I won't lie to you. I could be one of the instructors. I have the knowledge of it. I have I've done it before. I have some instructor ability. I've been a manager at several levels. So I can tell you what to do. Can tell you do that. You ain't telling me. I'm a grown-ass man. I hate being that way, and I don't want to discourage anybody from trying it. If they really want to try it, go try it. Just personally. And I always say this is a personal challenge for yourself. Yeah. It's personal. If you don't want to be yelled at or you don't want to do it, don't go do it.
Don't go do it.
You know? Now, some of these, when they did the death race, y'all are nuts. My friend Ronald has he's done a death race twice and finished. Eventually. Like I said, I tell everybody, if that's something you want to try, go try it. You'll know if you like it or you don't. You know, I said, but don't ask me, because you won't like my biased opinion, because I'm very biased. No.
I get that. So, yeah. I totally get that. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing all this with us, and so stoked that you came on. I guess I'm going to cut it off, because I think it's been an hour and Don might kill me.
No, and I think some of it's because we had to keep sweating back. So yeah, I'll say one thing. If anybody wants to look up, I'm on Instagram as the Bayou Spartan. Yes. It's Bayou_Spartan. So if anybody wants to look up, reach out. I'll follow back. I'll follow everybody back I can. I am not Insta famous. Trust me. One thing too, I always say, if you see me at a race, come talk to me. I might look like I'm a beast, but I promise you, I'm going to bullshit with you in a heartbeat. But don't be scared. And the person I'm talking to found out the hard way. She started talking smack to me. And next thing you know, she's like, hey, this guy's not bad. I'm talking about Lisa. 'Cause Lisa's like, yes. Oh, he's okay. He's not scary.
Not scary at all. All right. Thank you. And I will see you around on Instagram and hopefully in Texas next year.
Absolutely. Thanks,
All
Liz.
right.
I appreciate it. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
No problem. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the BeastNet podcast. If you haven't done it yet, find us on Facebook, like and share the podcast. Give us a review on iTunes or Spotify. All these things will help to expand the show in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear.